A few days back, I finished CyberPunk 2077 with the bad end. For those of you who don't know, spoilers, major spoilers, but at the end of CyberPunk, if you get the bad end, you.
Stick some iron in your mouth and pull the trigger.
And more than the game itself, it kind of reminded me a lot of how I live my own life. Because when it happened, there's not really like a big dramatic scene. It's very mellow. V has a short conversation with Johnny, and then they pan out into the city, and then it's just over. Credits roll. You see the whole city, everything you've done, everything you haven't done, and then it's just gone, just like that. And it made me realize that I had been playing the game wrong all along, because I was rushing through the story and just honestly not having a good time, because I just wanted to finish it off before GTA 6 comes out. And that was a mistake, because I was constantly underleveled. I wasn't even playing at a hard difficulty, I was just playing at medium. So I was constantly underleveled, it was taking forever to kill bosses, and I was just like cheesing fights. Not a good time. I was getting annoyed, and at the credits scene, a bunch of people show up and they say, something nice, or they say how they are very sad about seeing us go. And I don't even feel anything, because I never put in the time to, make a connection with those people. There's like quests and stuff, there's like additional dialogues which I never choose, because I just pick whatever advances the story as quickly as possible. And it just made me go like, damn, I've been playing this game wrong from the start. So I decided to start a new game. Now the thing is, the game actually lets you save just before this mission. So if I wanted to, I could have just reloaded the save and not picked that, but I didn't want to do that because, like I said, I had been playing it wrong all along. So I wanted this to be like something permanent in a way. So my first playthrough, I played as the female version of V. So in my head canon, female V is dead. So when I started a new game, I picked male V. And female V's story was a corpo. So male V can't be corpo. He became a nomad. And to give you a perspective on how much I rushed this game, I reached the bad end of the game in 30 hours. 30 hours. And I reached the bad end. And in my the second playthrough I started, I had 12 hours. And I have just finished the prologue and a few missions after that. So I did 1/3 of my previous playthrough, and I'm just at the starting. Because the game has that much like depth. And I'm like learning to appreciate the world and doing all the side stuff, seeing how much effort the people who made this have put into it. Like I'm actually like appreciating the thing now, which is, I haven't done that in a long while. I think the last time I was this immersed in anything, this is gonna sound really stupid to some of you, but it was when Genshin first came out in 2020. Because back then I didn't really have like anything to game on, I just had a phone and I could barely run Genshin on it. Like my phone would be dying, it would be like hitting like 55 degrees, it would run for like 40 minutes and it would just overheat and crash. But that was the last time I was like immersed in a world and I was like, I want to explore everything, I want to see everything. And I was like that curious about everything. After that, a lot of the things I play, I'm just like rushing through. Like another game that I kind of want to go back on is Red Dead, because Red Dead I kind of did the same thing, where I played as the bad ending for Arthur, and after that there's still like the prologue and stuff, right? I couldn't do it. I just quit the game after Arthur passed because I realized I hated the way I played the game, and I said I'll start again, and I did start again, but then I just left it because I was just rushing through the whole thing. And I realized, like, in the same way that I go through these games, in the same way I go through my life, where I'm just like rushing towards the end, just running towards the end, without really stopping to look around or stopping to see around about the people who are around me or keep up with them, check on them, see what's going on. So I think now I want to do it in a different way where I'm just like taking things a bit slower, trying to see more things, do new things. In a funny way, the bad ending of Cyberpunk is probably one of the most impactful things that have happened in my personal life from a game, which is crazy. I think the last game which did something impactful with this was like Red Dead, where I genuinely wanted to like try to become like a better person. Cyberpunk makes me want to like appreciate life or like go do the things I normally wouldn't do. You know, take time to keep up with people or keep in touch with people. Try new things, go to new areas, do stuff that I wouldn't usually do, slow down a bit once in a while. And to be honest, the past weekend, I have played Cyberpunk like a lot. Now, it's not going to be a lot by typical standards because I know how standards are online. But for me, it is because I used to not be able to play anything more than 2 hours. Like any game I play more than 2 hours is like impossible for me nowadays. But yesterday I sat and played this thing for like 6 hours straight. Today I just did 2 hours. I might do a bit more later, but yeah. Thoroughly enjoying this game, and I want to do Red Dead again too. I want to do Red Dead again where I take it slower. I like appreciate the things in the world instead of just rushing from mission to mission or just just trying to get to the end as quickly as possible or just like it's not a checklist, right? Like you're not doing these things to like put a check on a checklist and say it's completed. Some people do like that. I don't. It just stresses me out and it like drains me and slowly I start hating the things I'm doing. So yeah, that's all for this one. It's been a while since I made one of these, but